Hello and welcome to this short video where I'll be summarising the key points from the graduate masterclass I've graduated, now what? Although this video is very short, I have built in some points where you can pause the video and carry out some self-reflection, as that was a big part of the live session that we ran. So although it's going to be tempting to just skim through this video, I really invite you to do some thinking and self-reflection, because it can really help you get clarity about the next steps to take with your career and with your job hunt or applications for further study. Great, so let's get started. Our objections for this session was to spend a little bit of time, as I said, reflecting on and celebrating your skills and strengths, introduce this idea of graduate skills and show you a way of how to link graduate skills to your experience. I also wanted to use your self-awareness and self-knowledge to help you identify your next steps, and also give you some resources and further reflection exercises for you to do after the session, which will help you go and be confident in your career success. But firstly, we just wanted to check in at the start and ask you, how do you feel about life after QMUL? So pause the video here and just scribble down 3 words that sum up how you're feeling about graduating and moving into the world of work. Okay, thank you. Hopefully you paused the video and have 3 words written down. We asked all participants in our session to do this and then share them through menti.com. And what we found was there was really mixed feelings. Some students felt really excited, some felt really nervous, some used the words such as lost or scared. And I just wanted to give you that opportunity to reflect and also just normalise that it's okay to have mixed feelings. It can be quite scary leaving university and going into job hunting and figuring out next steps. So now I'd like you to do the same thing, but reflect on how clear you are about what you'd like to do next, what kind of job you would like, what kind of actions and steps you're going to take now that you've graduated. So on a scale of 1 to 10, don't overthink it, just score 10 being the highest, you're really confident, you know exactly what you want to do, and 1 being, I haven't got a clue, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm totally lost. And just rank yourself somewhere on that scale. And again, just to let you know that when we did this in the session, we had a really wide range of numbers. So it's okay if you're towards the bottom there on the 1s and the 2s and the 3s, because in this session, I'm going to be sharing some support, some resources and some ideas of what to do next. And really the message is that with career planning, with making good career decisions, it really starts with you. So doing this kind of reflection. And it can be very overwhelming because you're being told lots of different things by different people. You could be looking at job sites and feeling quite overwhelmed at the different jobs that are out there and trying to figure out what the next place is for you to go to. But actually spending a little bit of time looking inwards can help you get clarity and help you feel confident that you're going to move into a role that is right for you. So this is another reflection exercise. I'd like you to create 2 columns in front of you or on your phone, in your notes or somewhere. And in 1 column, I'd like you to spend 3 minutes and capture 3 moments of pride from your past 3 or 4 years whilst you've been at Queen Mary. So these are 3 things you feel really proud of: an achievement, something that you overcame, and it can be anything. It could be related to your degree, or it could be to do with extracurricular activities, clubs you're involved with, or it could be just personal experiences that you feel proud of. So again, pause this video and come back in 3 minutes. Okay, hopefully you have captured 3 moments, 3 achievements. And now what I'd like you to do is take another 3 minutes and try and write out the skills and qualities that you have developed in relation to those pride moments. So those three achievements, you will have developed and demonstrated certain skills and qualities. And I'd like you to, again, spend 3 minutes, just scribble down anything that comes to mind. Don't worry if this can be quite tricky, I think. But any skills and qualities that you think that you developed during those moments over the past 3 or 4 years. Okay, I'll pause the video now. Great, so hopefully you have thought through some skills and qualities. If you haven't, don't worry, because it is a little bit tricky sometimes finding the right language to communicate what it was what skills you were using during those moments. And I can help you with this now. This reflection exercise is also really good for thinking about the things that you're really proud of are often things that you've really enjoyed doing, and that can give you really good clues about the kind of work that you might like to do and the kind of skills that you should be looking for in jobs, because ultimately these are the roles that are going to make you happy when you can do these, use these skills and strengths and qualities. Now, the next thing I'd like you to think about is, can you clearly and confidently articulate these skills and qualities to other people? This can be really tricky. And if we think about in an interview situation or writing a job application, in terms of being successful, it's really important to be able to articulate what you've done well and the skills and qualities that you have and that you developed from your experience from doing those things. But don't worry, because at Queen Mary, we have some employer skills to help you capture this and give you some language to use. So you can see here the top 10 Queen Mary employer skills that we think are really helpful for you to start building evidence for. Start thinking about, when were the times that you have communicated very well? When have you been resilient? When did you work especially well as a team? Because these are the kind of questions that will come up in graduate job interviews, in any interviews. Employers want to see that you have developed these skills whilst you've been studying, either through your degree, your modules, or elsewhere. So in hobbies, clubs, and extracurricular. So what we suggest is you create your own evidence matrix, because again, you can say, oh, I'm a really good communicator, but how does an employer know that you have good communication skills? So we suggest that you create a skills evidence matrix. Use those Queen Mary University of London skills, those employer skills that I just shared with you, those I think there's 10. And for each one, just break it down. And you can see here that we've done it with one of them for you as an example. So you can see here adaptability and flexibility. So this is my ability to make the most of changing circumstances and adapt to new conditions. Okay. So when you are job hunting, you may be asked about your ability to be adaptable. This can come up quite a lot. And this can feel quite abstract and quite difficult. So what we have done is put some prompt questions in there to help you break that down. And again, I would pause this video here and just try and work through this at your own pace. Okay, great. So if you found that really difficult, and if you struggled to think about times when you've been adaptable or flexible, I'm going to suggest to you that over the past 3 or 4 years, you have definitely demonstrated that as a quality, as a skill. If you think about your studies, moving on to online learning, maybe using different software platforms, having to adapt to this remote world, definitely will demonstrate is a great concrete example of your adaptability. Similarly, when perhaps you had to deliver something as part of a team, but people were working remotely, how did you navigate that? How did you make sure that you communicated well together and that you delivered what you needed to deliver as part of an assignment or assessment or a piece of work? So again, that's just a little tip there of a clear example of when you will have been adaptable and flexible. Okay, so another great thing to know going out and starting to look at different jobs and making job applications is looking at how to spot those graduate skills on different job specs. When you are applying for a role, you do need to tailor every application to make sure that you are highlighting the right parts of your experience that match the skills and the qualities that they're looking for this role. Okay, so it's really good to connect this all together. So when you're looking at a job spec, read through what they're looking for and then make links back to that Queen Mary employer skills list, and then you can link back to your evidence matrix. So this is just a lovely formula, a lovely way of cutting out the work of for every application, trying to think of new examples or evidence. You're going to have this lovely bank of examples in your skills evidence matrix. But let's see if we can spot this, some of the graduate skills on this graduate trainee role now. So what I'd like you to do is, when we're looking at adaptability, so using the same example of being adaptable and flexible, this is just a standard job spec for a graduate trainee role that we found online. And what I'd like you to do is pause the video, have a look through that slide and try and spot the bullet point that is asking you to demonstrate that you are adaptable and flexible. So pause the video now. Great, and hopefully you spotted it was right at the bottom here. So we just wanted to make you aware that it's not always clear. They don't often use the exact same wording as we have with our employer skills list. So you might have to just interpret it a little bit. But just to flag, we are here to support you with this kind of thing. And that's what we're going to move on to talk about next, very briefly, is there's lots of things that you can do after this session now that will help you move forward, either applying for certain roles or thinking a little bit more carefully about what you'd like to do. So I suggest after this session you take some time to reflect on what you enjoy, what you're interested in, think about those pride moments, maybe flesh them out a little bit, and start to build your skills evidence matrix document. So again, thinking of examples of when you've used those skills and qualities that employers are really keen on seeing at application and interview stage. And I wanted to share some online resources that might help you if you're really unclear and not sure what to do next. If you don't have a sector or a job in mind, these are 3 really good resources. They're actually quite fun as well. You can go onto the Prospects Career Planner and take a little quiz of what job would suit me. That can just give you some really good initial ideas of different areas of work that might suit you. The Buzz Quiz is great. Again, it's thinking about your personality. So it gives you a personality type, strengths, and matches you to different jobs. And this one's a little bit more detailed, the human metric, which is a personality test. Because again, having clear awareness of who you are means that you can then identify the kind of workplaces, the kind of work that is going to suit you and make you happy. And finally, at Careers and Enterprise, we are here to support you, and we have a whole range of services. So you can access our support for up to 3 years after graduation. So you can have career guidance sessions, you can do practice interviews, you can attend workshops and employer events, you can get your CV checked. There's a whole range of things. So I invite you to have a look at the website and definitely make the most of this service as you are applying for roles.